What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back. And this Wednesday night, we're going to do everything a little different, right? I know typically on Wednesdays, we go with Ridin High Sports, but we're going to change it up tonight, and we're going to do Let's Chop It Up. And tonight we have not only a Corpus Christi legend, we have a Texas legend, we have a nationwide, worldwide legend, one of a kind, often imitated, never duplicated, musical legend, guitar legend, actor, military vet, father, grandfather, worker, hustler extraordinaire. This man has, from the School of Hard Knocks, one Mr. Don Martine. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. How are you doing, my brother?
Intro, Mr.
Yes,
Jarvis.
sir. I'm so glad to have you. I'm just glad you had time for the little man today.
Time, sir.
You made time today.
I've watched this show before, the podcast.
Yes, sir.
I've always put a like on the social media. And then last night, just to get a better idea about the podcast, I was fortunate enough to watch Havo G.
Havo G. Shout out Havo G. Thanks.
3 hours, Mr. Havo G. You had me engaged, educated. I'm a better man today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And he set the bar. We're referring to the tip jar.
And as always, y'all know we got Lil King in the background helping us out tonight. So, how's your weekend, King? Have a good one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And tonight, Don, we gonna let the world into your world. You know what I mean?
Get to know Mr. Don Martine.
Get to know
tonight,
Mr. Don Martine. I guess we'll just take it from the start. Like, born and raised, where you from?
I'm born and raised here in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Okay.
First generation American. As I told you before, my mother was a migrant worker until she became a maid. My father was, what do they call him, an undocumented worker. We call them illegal aliens. So at the age of 11, he crossed over here, so I'm a product of that industrial mindset.
Yeah.
Where's your father come from?
Matamoros, Mexico.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, were your parents young when they had you, or like?
I had age-wise, 25, a little older for the male.
Okay.
Maternal side.
Okay, that's what's up. So, you first generation migrant or American, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so what's that like coming up in like a new world? Like, what's that like?
Well, first of all, I've sold produce in the back of a pickup truck.
Did you spend time over there? Like, when did your dad come over here?
I have been in Mexico.
Okay.
As a little kid, there was not that terror like there is today.
Yeah.
So, it was a very frequent thing. I loved it over there. I have cousins over there. I have a lot of I have a large family. Mexico is a great experience. I've made it all the way to Saltillo, past the mountains. I do the best to, appreciate my upbringing. Growing up in an impoverished neighborhood right down here on the other side of where we at, what's the west side,
Yeah.
So I was very industrial, very much. I sold produce out of the back of a truck as a kid. Then by the time I'm 10 years old, I'm selling, delivering the newspaper. And then by the time I'm 11, well, sir, I'm working at a paint and body shop.
Already.
What schools did you go to, like, as a kid, like, here in Corpus?
The only schools that I attended publicly was
Like elementary?
Zavala.
Okay.
Zavala. And then I went to middle school, the Driscoll Middle School,
Oh, really?
7th grade, and then I got suspended. Then I had to repeat the 7th grade, and then I got kicked out or something. They sent me to an alternative school. So the following year, I was in the 8th grade. That's the last year that I went to public school.
So, like, last year of public. So before we get into public school, like, did you have any siblings or
I
like?
had 6 brothers, 2 sisters. One of my sister was my cousin. Her mom had her. I guess she was a young lady, underage or whatever, and then my mother raised her. So I saw her as my sister, but we definitely had a different, different looks. We look different.
Yeah, absolutely. So you ended up at the Texas Gilding State Home and School, right?
Yeah,
So,
that was a great experience. The Texas Youth Commission was, for me, it was a great experience. You know what I mean?
You end up going to TYC?
Hell yeah, I had a great.
Dog, we ain't
Okay,
going to skip over that shit. Because you got, you from
I was
Alabama.
just about to ask him about that. What is TYC?
Is it Giddings? Is it the Giddings State?
Yeah,
Texas Giddings State.
Okay, yeah. That's like a prison for the kids.
It's for violent offenders.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I guess in Texas we always just you either go to TDC or TYC.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong, so that's why you're here, so you can break it down for us.
Absolutely. You go through the regular, any child who, with conduct disorder, which I mean, absolutely.
So you was just bad as hell.
Yeah.
Well, they call it juvenile, but I don't call it that. And, conduct disorder. And it's, can I tell you, man, I can be frank. It was a wonderful experience growing up in the hood. You know what I mean? You overcome many barriers like me, language. I mean.
What part of the West Side were you growing up on, though?
Well, sir, I lived off of Virginia Street.
Okay, already. That's off of like Baldwin, Morgan area?
Yes, it's in between Agnes and Baldwin.
Already.
So when you grow up that way with less than, you find ways to earn a dollar here, acquire.
Yeah.
I had a great time. When I was saying that selling produce as a little kid, just like any of the, it doesn't really earn you a lot of money, 25 cents a bag. But then when I'm delivering the paper, that's making $25 a month. But then when I'm working for the paint and body shop, Zoom, rest in peace, then you're getting a $30 commodity exchange in an organic pack, that was a good lick. And that lasted for a while. And then, you don't end up in Giddings unless you commit a violent offense. And I committed about 16 of them. I seem to have enjoyed that little time frame of development and exploratory and acquiring, material possessions, commodity. It was a great experience.
Absolutely. So
that's why I ended up at Giddings State Home in school.
Okay, so are you getting any high school diploma or GEDs
I earned my
while you're in there?
GED before the age of 18. Part of the requirements is they have a treatment plan, for these, these offenders that you must graduate. You must have some form of basic education, which in Texas is the GED. And that was enough. That was my ticket to go to Del Mar College. And being that I was, I guess I was an awardee of the state until the age of maturity. Then, as soon as I was released, there was programs for me.
Yeah.
So, Del Mar College I attended that for 2 years before I enlisted in the military. So it was a great experience, taxpayers' money. I think there's another person I read, Mr. Charleston White is a graduate of Giddings State Home and School. They had a great humanistic program, which I feel like in my brother, when he was in the reformatory school in 1966, that was more like a warehouse.
Yeah.
Warehouse these bad kids. In my time frame, there's that development. There's that exploring, okay, you're supposed to do this, why? And then you get reason and you're not satisfied. You ask again, but why? And eventually you come to realize that there is a mediation of, he must have committed these because of this and this. And, living in an impoverished neighborhood, you do what you have to do.
So this conduct disorder, right?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But in the realm of psychology or child development, conduct, that's what them kids with doctor, and money, but for us, it's called a juvenile delinquent.
Yeah.
You're just a bad kid. I'm like, no, I'm not a bad kid. I'm in a bad environment.
Yeah, absolutely. So
hold up,
Would you say that affected your relationship at all with parents, siblings, or anything?
No. My father was a loving man, dude. That dude gave me money. So in the systems, you have to, I'm sure in any system, when you get a little care package or you have currency, in my case, I got $50 in my bank account in 1981, and that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, so what am I complaining?
Absolutely. And so me, I'm a younger brother, right?
Okay.
And so when I'm growing up, you can't tell me my older brother isn't a superhero, right? did you have like a older brother or
Oh,
role
absolutely.
like
My
that?
oldest brother. I had an older brother who he was well. I had 6 brothers, but I had one that ended up in the reformatory school, and then by 1970, he's already in our brick, institutions, prison system. So, to me, having a brother to have served for many years, it was a good reference. As I carried these little notes I was showing you, I mean, these are motivation notes. Don't come to prison. It's a bad place. Go to college. So. Yeah, I went to college, man. I've completed over 12 years of academic study.
Okay, so academically was never like like would you say it wasn't like a challenge, like being in the classroom, getting an assignment done and all that good stuff? Like how did you like say, okay, I need to buckle down, get these classes done? Like, because college ain't no joke.
Well, the GED is a simple thing. It's just a multiple choice. And, if you don't know the answer, just put C, and so, come on, they're trying to get these kids out of the system. So somebody, whether I scored low or high,
but I'm talking about like, how did you maintain a 4.0 at Del Mar, making the dean's list, and like, because that absolutely is difficult.
No, it is the most easiest thing to do. Number one is my first semester at Del Mar College. Thanks to the the Texas Youth Commission programs and the I guess they call it the NOASIS supervisor, whatever they have for these these young kids, paid for it. It was very easy for me because my first semester was learning how to read and write, parts of speech, 1 + 1. After that, then you start taking more, and reading is a skill.
Yeah,
I have this obsession, as I tell folks, to learn, and I've proven myself. So how did I do it? Because I had no questions. If they say this is red, this is this, then that's what it is. And then when you take a test, it's just regurgitating. It's just, okay, rote memory. And me, I just remember, okay, this is what it looks like. There's the answer. So I did very well. Am I impressed? I have no idea. Those free scholarships, those awards are nice. That being on the dean's list, being part of dropout programs, to me, I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
School is not difficult. Nothing is difficult when you apply yourself, and I think that's what I have always done. I've always been focused.
Okay, I love it, man. And like, I'm just gonna tell the people a little story.
Sure.
So this man is like a genuine OG.
Hey.
Will give you, like, even if he has never met you, will give you the best life advice.
Absolutely.
That you will ever didn't even know you needed. So how did you develop that approach of like, even if it's like a total stranger, I have knowledge, I want to share it? Because a lot of people crave knowledge, but a lot of people like to hog the knowledge. Like, how did you develop that giving type of mindset when it comes to knowledge and education like that?
I sense when a person wants to learn, when a person wants an answer. You can tell, young fellow, you were knocking in my house. You were looking for what? Work.
Yeah.
I said, "Whoa, man, this guy, okay, he wants to work. He wants to cut my grass." And, I'm trying to get a bargain. That didn't work. So I said, "What other skills you have?" And he said, "I'm a DJ." "Well, how much do you charge?" And you set your price. I said, "Well,
now you made me be a DJ.
I'll give you half of that." I said, "I'll pay you
said,
half."
"What do you do?" I go, "Well, I'm a personal trainer." You go, "Nah, brother.
Like,
what do you do?" And I go, "Well, I write songs, I rap." And you go, "Yada yada yada." "Hey, you ever DJ before?" And I was like, "I can learn."
There you go.
But yeah, man.
When did I acquire, or what the epistemology of knowledge is you can only ask a person before you have to apply this information in a system, any institution, militarily, family. You have rules. That's a codification of society. If you learn how to read and write, well, sir, you can interpret it as you like,
yes,
to your
sir.
benefit.
Yes, sir.
And that's intelligence. Like, I mean, that is intelligence, to be able to be in any area and be able to sustain yourself. And I think I've done a wonderful job, you know.
I would have to agree.
I've learned a system here. Yeah.
I would have to agree. So we get out of the state school. We get out of Del Mar. So at what point are we gravitating towards music? Like, when do we learn, like,
music was since I was a little kid.
Okay, so...
Yeah. So I would tell you that, and I do share this because I have grandkids. I'm going to tell you, look, man, if you ever need an instrument, that's something I love. I love music so much. Guitar is my primary instrument, but as a kid, I knew I wanted to play guitar because I would go to church. Catholic church, they play them. You know what I mean? They have real instruments. They have... I mean,
I grew up in the black church. I wanted to learn how to play.
That's gospel.
I wanted to learn how to play the drums.
And the gospel
like, to this day, I'm obsessed with it.
Well, when I grew up, I was forced to go to the church. You know, who wants to go? I didn't want to go. I'd rather hang out. But I would watch and I would sing along with them. And I noticed in one church there, they played guitar. So I always wanted to have a guitar. Being a child that doesn't have any, no parents aren't going to buy me one. I acquired one from a church when it was closed. True story. It was across the street. So, and then I did that again at another church because I realized that these churches had guitars and there's nobody at nighttime.
Yeah.
Man, so do I have an obsession with guitars? I have a collection of them.
I've seen
I have a
some
collection
of them,
it, and I've always done that my entire life. So music was in my family. My mother was a singer; she sang to us. I have musician relatives that they did the little circuit here locally or statewide. I was always around music.
Yeah.
In juvenile system, I volunteered to go be in the ministry for the. I was Catholic, so I volunteered to be in the Catholic choir. Then I volunteered to be in the Brothers Church, the Christian church, because they played more contemporary. And all I had to do was play the guitar. So I'm like, man, this is fun. I get 2 hours of play guitar every Sunday. And then I volunteered anytime. Wednesdays, hey, come on, I'll be there. I'll play the guitar. And even as an adult, at churches, I played guitar when I was, when I had kids, role model.
Now, you used to watch the show Mythbusters back in the day? Like, they run crazy science experiments?
So I have no TV. I'm about to buy my first TV.
But anywho, I need you to answer me a question because I read this about you. Okay. I did my homework.
Oh, good.
Sir, is it true that you learned to play guitar on a guitar with only 4 strings?
Absolutely. And let me tell you how. Because I had already acquired 2 electric guitars, I was in juvenile system. I couldn't ask my parents to buy me a guitar. Somehow, I managed to get 2 guitars in juvenile system. How? There was a white kid who had a guitar. Then there was another kid, and you do your little negotiations. And I acquired them guitars, and man, But so when I was released or when I was sent home on a furlough before the age of 18, they kind of let you go back home. What do I see in my house? Oh, they brought me a guitar when they came to pick me up. This shit was broken. And it was an acoustic. I'm like, dude, I'm not a country dude. I want to play rock and roll. So it did miss a lot of strings. So I developed this skill where I just really can do very good flamenco on just one string, whether it's on electric on just one string. So being able to find a note, you're able to compose a chord, and with that, then a progression, then you have a melody, and it's that simple. So sometimes you do more with less. Sometimes,
So was it kind of weird? Because were you on all electric, from the ones you acquired from the churches to the ones that you were playing in the centers, and then this is your first time working with an acoustic guitar, or did you have experience with acoustic in your past?
No, in juvenile, that's what they played, acoustic guitar.
Okay. I thought they had electric.
That. I wanted electric.
Okay. You wanted to,
but I didn't have an amplifier. But it was just still the fact of being able to, the action on an electric guitar is a lot different than a classical or acoustic. So I'm still practicing. I don't know. And I grew up around rock and roll, so there was a lot of that type of music where it was all guitar. So I'm like, hey, I want to do what that dude that guy's doing. I want to do that. That seems
Who
cool.
who was that influence? Like that big rock star that you go, you know what? I love the way he shreds. If I could just do half of that, I'll be all right.
Well, I learned more than half now, but I will have to show much respect to Carlos Santana. I may play one or two of his songs. I have to give credit to Randy Rhoads. I wanted to be just like that. And there are many other people. Locally, there is one man that was a Tejano guitarist who played rock and roll in a group called La Movida. His name was Ricky Smith. So I have always had that feel for the electric, that high energy,
Yes, sir. So, what led you to? So we have the music in our blood. We've
absolutely
developed the passion. We've developed our skills. Like, when did Don Martin say, "All right, it's time to take this music and try and make something out of it"?
I always did that, even as a I'm most likely, no doubt, at one time I said, man, I could be a ministry guitar player. Travel the country. Even when I was in the military, I volunteered at all the festivals. I played the national anthem. During Hispanic months, I would play a Carlos Santana tribute because he's of Hispanic origins. I was in many bands. I always wanted to do that, but responsibilities. I have children.
Yes, sir.
I had a wife. That lessens my opportunity. So I always wanted to do this. I'm gonna do this, number one, for the rest of my life, no matter what. It's something that I enjoy. It's an instrument, and now I've gotten so good with mixing this electric style with this trap music. Incredible new sound.
Sick.
Oh man, I have
sick.
the YouTube videos. One filmed by Dorian Green, and the other one by Static TV. Very high energy type of trap rock music, which is just my style.
Yes, sir. You said, at what age did you get married? If you don't mind me asking.
The first time, let me guess. If my child was born in 1990, I had to have married the woman then, so that I wouldn't have a welfare child.
Yes, sir.
So, how old was I? Mathematic would put me at 24 years of age.
24 years old. So, first child, 24. No babies on the way. Like, what is besides, all right, I got to take care of this child. Like, what is your initial move to financially support this new family that we got going on the way?
I enlisted in the United States Navy.
That's what led us to the military. That was going to be my next question. What led us to the military?
This lady says she going to have a child. Well, I don't want no kid to be on no welfare.
Yeah.
I got to get a good job. And I was going to Del Mar. I was on a scholarship for 4 years. I had already completed 2.5 years. I'm getting straight A's. I mean, academically, like, dude, I'm
crushing it.
I'm already learning how to be a scholar here.
Yeah.
And then you get this news. Well, the news, my whole mindset is switched. Like, man, I have to have a job, and I have to have this. And so I enlisted in the Navy, and I'm so grateful, honored. Thank you very much. I thank Uncle Sam. He kept me around. I retired in 22nd of May, 2006 from the United States Navy. My children are one of the reasons, Did I want to be in the military before then? I don't think no one ever told me that. Yeah. I don't think I heard that in the hood. If it wasn't for the nice fellows over here volunteering at the Nueces probation place, they'd come and volunteer, and one guy, a lieutenant, he's like, hey, I don't know, maybe it was my look or something. The way I acted, I was very proper. I had a GED. I had no more offenses.
You fit the GI Bill.
Well, I went into, no. Listen, I actually had to get 3. I have 3 waivers on my federal record. We went and did the paperwork, and they found out that I had 16 arrests. I'm like, well, how's that possible? Am I not supposed to be, free? So it wasn't until I was of the age of 21 where the state of Texas actually seals, and you're like born again. So if I ever, I can never claim that I've been in trouble, because where's the proof?
Yeah.
All I have these letters now and stories. But I know I served some time. I knew that I was taken away from my community, from my family, and given a new set of tools, a new resource, a new identity. Like, man, I'm playing in a church in juvenile, and these are violent offenders who commit murder. Please, this is a playground. I have two brothers in prison. Then they're writing me, so that, well, you know what I mean. So it's like, fear is the unknown. I said, well, at least I know a little bit about what prison's going to be like if I have to be over there, because we do get in riots. We do have to commit a little bit of, a little bit of offenses,
yeah.
and being of my character, well, I have no fear. I have no problem doing that. I don't want to, but if it happened, it happened. I'm just very fortunate that riots were, controlled enough that I got my GED and I'm released, and did 2.5 years, and then this lady tells me that she got a kid on the way, or she's pregnant, or say. So I joined the military, and I'm grateful.
Yeah. So, what was your military experience like? Like, take us through, like, if you want, like, because I had an uncle, he served in Nam. Like, anytime MASH came on, we had to change the channel.
Why?
So, because he had severe PTSD like that. Like if like MASH would come on, like as soon as he heard the helicopters, like he would just start, like he would freak out. You know what I mean? So like, that's why, like, if I ever talk to a veteran, like, I'm curious about their military experience, but I know, like, some topics.
Well, I would
very
tell
sensitive.
you this, sir. I'll take you down to the recruiting station.
Let's do it.
No, I'm for real. I'd be honored to.
Let's do it.
I'd even fly to see you graduate.
No, I'm not trying to go.
Serve in the military is an honor. Growing up in the neighborhood that I grew up in, you don't really see these individuals. You see other type of characters.
Yeah.
So to be able to understand that system, like, man, this is even more fun. Like you get rewarded to kill a person. You don't get. That's where the dichotomy is changing, because as a child, you're told that when you take this shiny object and you slash somebody, that's considered bad.
Yeah.
But over here, when you do the same stuff, it's honorable or noble. So that, because to me, I grew up in an environment where bullying's kind of looked upon.
Yeah.
And it is happening. The aggressors are always going to be, where weaker people are at. But in the military, don't you think we're aggressors when we go to another country?
Gotta be sometimes, but I would say yes.
Yeah, so to me, if I embody the American spirit, then I'll be an ambassador as such.
Absolutely. So how long did you spend in the military entirely? Like
A
you
total
did Navy, Marines, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I enlisted in the United States Navy because it was one of the guys that mentored us, and then he helped me get my record seal. We went all the way to Dallas, Texas, to the headquarters of the Navy recruiting. We did the waiver because they said, you got a GED, didn't graduate? Nope, but I got a GED. Okay, keep your hand up there. And then they're like, I had a broken clavicle because whatever. So I got that waiver. And then there's another one. I like to smoke that organic stuff. So I had to tell them, I like to smoke. And I got a waiver for that. So that was enough there. Finished the oath. Boom. Let's go to boot camp. As soon as I arrive in boot camp, that's September the 20th, 1988. I immediately am chosen to be part of the flag company. And there's only 50 of them guys.
Nice.
I mean, there's thousands of recruits, but there's only 50 flags. So I wouldn't say that I was privileged. I'm just grateful that I got to do cool stuff in boot camp. Then I went to my next school, which is the Corpsman School. After that, then you have to do some kind of rotation in a hospital. So I went to Portsmouth Naval Hospital. After my 18 months there, then they tell you it's time to go. They gave you 3 choices. For me, they said I can go overseas, or I can go on a haze gray underway, which is on a ship. And then the other one is blue-green. What's that? It's like, it's with the Marines, I said, well, what do they do? Well, they're jarheads. All they do is PT and eat. I said, oh, man, that sounds like fun. So send me over there. Well, those first 3 years were not easy for me because I was in the Navy, and our standards are different, but being on board at Camp Lejeune, you have to adapt to their styles. Get a haircut high and tired, run 3 miles. You have to shoot something known as a weapon. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff. And so it was an adjustment. I had a few office hours, captain's mess in the Navy, NJPs. But after about 3 years, I finally snapped, and I said, I want to stay another 3 more years. And then I want to stay another 3 more years.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, I'm like, dude, I really like this stuff. Like, I get to work out every day. I get to eat the best meal. I get to yell at people. And I get to drink and work it off in the morning and drink a bunch of coffee. So I like the Marine Corps, you know.
Okay, that's what's up.
So how much time I spent? 17 years and 3 months on active duty, and then I did 2.5 years of reserve here at the this little naval hospital, naval clinic here in Corpus Christi.
Okay. Did you ever spend any time overseas? And
Yeah, I was very fortunate to experience expedition. You know what I mean? During 1990, I think we had the Gulf War. I had just enlisted, right? I mean, barely. I'm still in training, so they're not going to take me. Lucky for me. So the next time we have some kind of, you know, world crisis, it's that 911. Come on. Hold up. Pause for a minute. We're in the month of September.
Yes, sir.
We forget about these people that died, right?
Yeah.
So it's whatever time it is. You know, I got to be at work at 6 in the morning, or 4 or 5, whatever it is. But by 8 o'clock, there's already a lot of commotion by 8, whatever it is. And then the news. And then my chief rounds us up, say, hey, man, y'all need to go home and kiss your wives and kids goodbye. Oh, shit. Wait a minute, brother. This is like for real. All that training with the Marine Corps. Come on, let's go play. So I would say that I was in a command element during the Operation Noble Eagle, whatever, you know, my records, my awards, and part of Operation Enduring Freedom. Command element, I'm just going to tell you, man, that's just a blessing. And when you're in, without disclosing much, it's a wonderful experience, and all I have is photographs, you know.
I don't know if you asked this yet, but what made you want to sign up for the military?
Very simple, sir. Responsibilities.
Okay, because was that like what a lot of people were doing like during those times too, would you say?
I would say there was 2 things that there was a judge.
Trying to figure, like, did you have kids that you need to support? Like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
I didn't have no children at all, but I had someone telling me that she was going to have a child, and that happens to be, so that caused me to.
That was something y'all was already.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah,
it is.
Like, man, that's like man, I want to go to college. I want to be a doctor. So,
how old were you when you enlisted?
I had to be past the age of 21.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because I had to wait till my records were sealed.
Oh,
and then
really?
we went again, and they did a little thing, scan. You know how they check your records? And they're like, nope, we don't see nothing. It's blah, blah. Oh, thank you so much.
So, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you could go back, tell young Don Martin one nugget of advice, what would it be? Because you're a wise man. What do you tell you told me this, I think. What do you tell a wise man?
Man.
Like, I think you asked me that. You go, what can a wise man tell a wise man, or something like that? That stuck with me. So what would you go back and tell a young you?
Simply this, it's going to be all right.
To me, it looked like you would go back and say you did a good job.
No. I would just tell it's going to be all right, because look, we're in America, man. If you haven't been overseas, if you haven't been in another country, you don't understand me. You have to adapt.
Yeah.
Language, cultures. I would just say, look, man, you're going to be all right. And I think I am all right. Yeah, I think, that's the best, the simplest advice. You're going to be fine. And I just make myself available to that young man.
Yeah.
That's the best thing, consistent.
Oh, yeah. So we'll change it up a second.
Oh, I got
what's up? What you got?
If you can't even speak on camera, like, what's probably some of the craziest or one of the craziest things that you experienced or saw in the military?
I would like to say, when you define crazy, okay, atrocities is a better word.
Did you end up going over? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, he let
atrocities. I will say this. Look, man, you can look up in Google any expedition fatalities. You're going to, okay. I would just say this. Growing up in the hood, you see some form of violence. Right?
Yeah.
I know growing up in the hood, my first casualty or fatality, I'm in the 5th grade. That dude got killed there at the end of the block. Next fatality I see, it's my neighbor. That dude shot a dude for cheating on a game of dice. That's some hood stuff.
Yeah.
So. And then I learned that, well, this little shiny object, keeping it forward makes a big bully. Big dude come down here and cry and say, call 911, help me. So terror is in the hood. Now, when you're trained in the military, you go in harm's way. So what's the craziest thing I've seen? As I stated earlier, the dichotomy or man, for a minute, I got confused for a minute. I said, look, if we come over here and beat up these people, we get little, hey, good job. Yeah. But when we beat up people in the hood, it's looked at as antisocial. Like, wait a minute. So the crazy experience would be for me.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? I have been to a world prison. I went to Cuba. I got to see some. I would just say the International Red Cross is there. You tell me what you saw. What did I see? Hey, man, I seen what I saw in the hood. You hogtie somebody.
But multiply probably. Yeah.
Hold on. What's the difference to me, sir? Only difference is we are here. The bullies. I don't know. I'm not speaking bad about the military. I'll do it again. But I'm just not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know is that crazy enough?
Well, I guess I'm thinking like, man, I saw the dude next to me have to shoot down.
Oh no, I've seen.
You know what I'm saying?
I've seen a lot. Okay,
seen a kid run with a bomb attached to him, and he blows up or something like that.
Fatalities, I always had a fascination with dead bodies. Take me to the morgue. Let me go see a couple of hanging bodies. I've seen a lot of hanging bodies. To me, bro, when you see maggots coming out of a human, that's not a make-believe story. That's real. That means that body's been dead for a while.
Yeah.
Have I seen within what they call blue on blue, which is during training, people be careless and blow off their head? Hell yeah, that was kind of fun. I say fun because you react. If you're trained for battle, what are you supposed to do? You can't call 911. You are now. I'm a doc. Yeah. I am a Fleet Marine Force doc. If you don't know what that is, that's somebody who has served with the Marine Corps and earned the title doc. I am 911. I am 911. Hold up. Wait a minute.
That's a bar. I am 911.
So how do you stay calm and collective? You know your people. Yeah. You know your surroundings. You know your purpose, and you execute it precisely as the Geneva Convention tells you. I can't just hogtie a person and abuse them. That's inhumane.
Yeah.
But if the motherfucker was shooting at me, what you think I'm gonna do? That yearly training helped out. I got a nice little scope.
So
is that crazy enough?
I think
atrocities are there. Bro, we can go out here and see a car wreck, probably see more crazy shit. Blood is blood.
Yeah.
Blood is blood. Yeah.
I remember you ever seen Dead Presidents? With Lorenz Tate?
I probably have.
They, at the end of the movie, they robbed? They robbed the bank and they ended up getting with the face painted all white. The ones with the faces painted all white with Lorenz Tate's old movie. Well, they like in the movie they do like a flashback whenever they're like Vietnam or some shit, and one of the dudes is basically carrying around one of the Vietnam dudes' heads, basically saying, "This is our good luck charm. This is why we ain't died yet." And I'm like, and then everybody's like, "Get rid of that fucking shit, Cleon." And he's like, "Bro, that's why we still alive." And they're like, "Get rid of that." And then finally the fucking main sergeant says, "Cleon, fucking get rid of that fucking shit." And he has to fucking throw in the fucking head. But I just when you see shit like that on movies, you just don't know how realistic it is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we do have two different. We have the Constitution that you guys follow, right? And then we have our own type of codification, which is the Uniform Military Justice, UCMJ. That clearly defines how you behave, how you act. Tells you when to engage and when not. Rules of engagement. So me, I'm an analytical one. So I'm going to read everything. Oh, I can shoot him then? Oh, I can do that? Oh. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm just saying you always train and prepare.
Yeah.
And then you just react.
Yeah.
But the military, to me, man, I encourage you, anybody out here, join the United States. Join my military. Come on. That's some great, you want to learn how to small arms, shoot stuff. But not just that, you learn a skill, how to save a life, or if you want to be a whatever computer guy. The military was a savior for me. Where else would I have been? How many choices as a hood kid? They tell you get a job. What the fuck you can get a job minimum wage? What's another opportunity for go to college? I come from poor people. The hell are you gonna pay for it? Unless I'm smart. Luckily, I got scholarships and Pell Grant and any other assistance I could apply for. Or you join the military. I did that too.
That's where the question came from earlier.
Let's face it, an institution, the prison systems is another way of life for some folks. There's a hustle there. You know what I mean? So when you come from that environment, you can't repeat it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from the hood. Come on. I left the hood. I live in the South Side for a reason.
Straight up. For real.
Bro, I mean, let's get real. Do I take my grandkids? Absolutely. I take them in the hood. I'd be driving the Benz. And I said, look, show them. Why? Because I remember we don't leave this. The struggle's always going to be there. It's just different little struggles, little bit different battles. The war is going to be there, just little battles here and there now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the military, to me, I encourage anyone there. Stay in school, get your GED or your high school diploma, and join my military. Absolutely, man. That's gangster as fuck, bro. I can't think. There was a general, a chief of staff. I nicknamed my grandkids all these cool names. OJ the Killer. Right? I already got his boxing.
I remember King
train.
said, "Is he a rapper?"
No. And then the young one that's 2 years old, his nickname is Mad Dog, for the famous general who stated clearly, this is a military man, a decorated man who's been to war. His philosophy is very simple: be polite, be professional, but have a plan to kill everyone that you meet. Bro, that's a man telling his troops that. Why? What can you tell a what can you tell a young man is going to go in harm's way? Just what do you
do
tell
your
him?
best, mijo. Nah, that
That's
ain't gonna
it.
fly.
Do your best. Hey, we'll write you. Come back alive. Don't lose an arm. To me, again, please join the military. Any of your viewers, any children out there, anybody, man, the military is the best savior.
So you did 17 years.
17 years and 3 months of active duty. That's every freaking day. I've got to shave. I've got to, you got a military bearing. I still retain some of it, polish my boots, but it is stressful. And the reserve time, that's right here locally. That was really fun because I have a job that's paying me, and all I have to do is drive on base, and, well, this is pretty cool. It's a nice little paycheck.
Yeah.
And then again, I retired on the 22nd of May, 2006.
Thank you for your service, my friend. Thank you
welcome,
for your
sir.
service.
Don't forget, you want to join it.
No, I'm past the age limit.
What you mean? You got to the age of 37? What you mean?
I'm 42.
Bro.
I turned 37 yesterday, bro.
Come on.
So after 17 years of military service, what's your next step, your next move?
What do you end up?
You're
already in corporate, so whenever you discharged, you were in corporate still.
No, I left for almost 22 years. I lived in North Carolina 12 years. I lived in Virginia. I've lived in Norfolk. I've lived in Chicago. I've lived in South Carolina. So, I got to live different places. Yeah. But what are my plans? I'm doing exactly. I'm being on the Ridin podcast here. And I'm having a blast. I do the arts now. I am working on an album or EP with Mr. City Gonzalez, Rashid 21st Century.
We kind of getting ahead. We trying to pick it up
Like when you get out
Soon
of
as
the
you leave the
military,
military.
like what's that next step?
In
Well,
chronological order.
Yeah.
Okay, you asked the question, what neighborhood I'm from.
Yeah.
I did not name it because a neighborhood's a neighborhood,
Oh,
right?
really?
Parenthood is a fucking hard place to be at. But I did grow up in La Cuarenta, which to me...
I figured
No,
that.
but listen, this is what really trips me out, because there's something about the character recognition of 4-0. It's used all over the world. I just came from Europe. Okay, I was in Italy. I seen that. But we work for 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire. A woman has a baby for 40 weeks is the proper time to create a human. The world was flooded for how many days?
40 days and 40 nights.
Jesus was tempted how many days?
40.
I am from a hood known as the 40 block, La Cuarenta. I retired in 2006 with paycheck, health insurance, and all that great stuff. How old was I in 2006? I'm 40 years old.
40. I was gonna say 40.
Shit.
So it is puts me on a quest to understand a little more about character recognition. What is this whole deal about 40? Because 40 is represented as a time of purification, Jewish customs, a time of testing. Bro, that's a long time. 40 years you work to be able to get a paycheck. 40 hours a week you got to go get a little paycheck.
Gotta go get it.
So I mean, there's so just the number 40 it just stands out. So I will definitely explore that. I'll do a lot more study on what's the meaning of 40. Why did God flood the earth 40 days? Yeah. Why not 30? 20 days.
Why not just a week?
But 40 just stands out. So if that brings any notoriety to the neighborhood I'm
really?
from, it's that neighborhood for sure had a lot of factions. I grew up there, man.
Oh, really?
Go
Go ahead.
I think it was a great development for me as a child to develop that persona to be able to be in the military. Military was the easiest thing.
Probably prepared you for the
Brother,
military.
Anybody watching, bro, the military is what you make it. If you're in good shape and you got a good mind and good eyes, hey, you'll be able to hit your target, center mass.
For sure.
So
So the day that you discharged, where were you at?
I actually left I left about a month before my actual retirement day, and I came to Corpus Christi because I had a house here. I had already planned to do what everybody does when they retire, but except that I'm 40, I'm still young, but I got 2 kids. So what I want to do, I want to raise them. I don't want to do shit, but just raise my 2 kids.
yeah.
2 children. And so besides myself in little hobbies, focus more on that. So when I came back to Corpus, I already bought my house here. I bought it off the internet, just looking and looks cool as hell. And then I bought it. So then, I came down here, checked it out for about, went back to North Carolina. And then what made me come here, I was thinking that family would help me with my children, which is not the case. Sometimes the best helper is just yourself.
Yeah.
Pay a daycare, look up babysitters, ask the neighbor, you watch the kids, please. I need a break. I need to go party.
So, was there a tough adjustment from being active duty to transitioning back into civilian life? Because I know for some, that's a really tough adjustment.
I don't know. I isolated myself. I utilized the resources that the VA have, the health care, any therapies they had. I don't really feel my adaptivity back to civilian is just doing it. You know what I mean? So I don't find those stressors. I enjoyed my time. Thank you very much. I definitely checked the bank account, make sure it's there, and I adapted well, I believe.
Okay. So now, is this around the time that music takes off and how did you start, how did you become, when did you become not just Mr. Cifuentes, but Don Martin, like when does that take off? Like how does
Well,
that?
being that I'm retired, I have a little bit of money, and so I don't have to stress about bills or anything like that. My kids don't have to stress; they're going to college. I'm proud of my kids. My kids were in college by the age they were homeschooled. So my daughter was in college at Del Mar College by the age of 15. She got her GED. She has acquired her master's, and if you haven't, then you lie to me. But no, I know she got her. She finished her bachelor's here at A&M, and then she said she did her whatever. But I had resources, and I had been in bands in North Carolina. I even auditioned once to be the singer in a country band. That's a skill to be a country singer, but mainly I was a guitar player, and I came to Corpus with this idea that I could form a rock band. So I went on, I don't know what it was, MySpace, wherever the musicians hang out.
In 06, wherever musicians were in 06.
Bro, so I started looking for a band and I started auditioning and meeting musicians, and I noticed one thing. I said, rock is out. It's dead. The music today is fragmented, which is the rap and the hip hop. So it was very difficult to form a band. So then I went back to being just a guitar player by myself and playing along. And then my son was listening to rap music, and he was listening to a song called 3-6 Mafia, which I have met him. And I said, well, fuck, dude, I just play guitar over this shit. And I started playing over that, and I was very blessed to have worked, and I'm very blessed and honored to have worked with a lot of some famous people. And I've actually recorded guitar parts, and I've seen it on their videos, and I am honored. But I couldn't form a band. I have this equipment. I don't know how. I hire a dude to come in and set up my first studio. My first studio was Mr. Two Swifts. Thank you very much for setting up my first studio. Ridin, and I think it was Cubase. Then I got another. I got more advanced in how to record. I'm mainly just recording guitars. I didn't record nobody's. And then I started doing what do you call a mixtape? Like, man, if I would have had your music or your music, I said, well, dude, I'm going to play over these dudes. And I'm like...
So you're recording yourself playing over other people's music?
Yes.
Already?
Yes.
Already.
Nobody, I will say this. Nobody ever wanted to put a guitar player in rap. Nobody... It wasn't very common and popular until just within the past 2.5 years. I've noticed famous artists, they have a guitar player on their set. Mm-hmm. Even Mr. Kevin Gates just hired a guitar player. I seen him on stage, and there's other people. You know what I mean?
And nowadays, what you're trying to say is nowadays for people to, it's rare for rappers especially to use live instruments. Nowadays, everything.
Yes.
The first. I'm a big Wayne fan, but I first noticed him, he started using live bands for his performances in '08. And I would be on YouTube watching his concerts, and I was like, it sounds better because it's the live music.
Live, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
what do they call tiny desk concerts?
Yeah.
Whew, they got. I seen Currency do one. I've seen that Scarface.
Yeah,
do
the Scarface
one. All
one
those
was badass.
Whoa, thank you, Lord. Come on, these guitar players, these drummers, they need a job too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that I'm able to contribute to that potential wave. If not, I'm still going to record guitar over trap music, over rappers. It's what I'm going to do. Hopefully somebody will like it and listen to it.
I want to hear it.
Bro, it goes hard.
Mr. Dorian Green did my first video. Mr. Dorian Green,
really?
shout
out
to
my
Mr.
boy, man.
Green Films. He did my first video. The song is called "If I Say It." So I'm working through an agency up in Nashville, Tennessee, and so they have my work there, and they've asked for certain requirements. So I'm giving them what they're asking for, but I have those videos on this cell phone. If you know how to airdrop it, we can watch it.
We'll peep them out whenever we get done.
So
and
Dorian
if you send
Green
them to
did
them,
my first video,
them.
If I Say It, with Rashid, City Gonzalez, and Mr. Willie P on it. We made the beat there in my house. I've been working with Willie P for at least 1 year, over a year and a half. And we have composed no less than 20 songs, compositions, songs, but we select them. We every once a week we go back. Okay, we did this. We want to work on this one. Hey, what about this one? Or we just start a whole new whole new song. So I'm very honored and blessed to work with Willie P and Rashi, City Gonzalez.
Yeah, yeah.
So what was that first major break? Like that first major artist that says, "Hey, I want you to play guitar for me." Like, what was that moment?
I've had a lot of I've had moments in where I've expressed that I'm a guitar player, and there have been people that have placed me in their music videos with my guitar.
But you was just a prop type shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's people that have also played my music, like with due respect, Mr. Trey the Truth, one of his guys, Easy, sent me a track back when I was in North Carolina. I did some stuff. Next thing I go on that YouTube or that social media, and I hear some guitar parts. I said, "Hey, that's my guitar part."
Already. Shout out Easy Money, man.
That gave me a really great feeling. Then another gentleman by the Big Gemini out of Dallas, Texas,
yes,
Uptown
sir.
Records at the time, I believe that's what he was with. You hear this, wow, wow. Well, that wow was my guitar when I recorded Ace One. So those moments that you talk about were getting, I could hear myself, but it wasn't until Dorian Green. If I have to say where the big break is at, or like wow, the views are. I have
like
to
the
get
moment
this man here.
Dorian Green.
I
Okay,
have to.
okay.
And even that story is a really nice story to share. He's coming back from filming somewhere overseas. I'm sure he's somewhere. I don't know if he's in Germany, Switzerland, wherever he was at. He was going here, and we meet up at the same. We're getting transfers. I believe I'm coming from Albuquerque, New Mexico, or Georgia, and we both land in Dallas, and we get on the same place. He's sitting over there in this side, and I'm walking in, and I notice, I said, Dorian Green, hey, I hug him and everything, tell him, like, bro, when are you going to put me in these videos? Because I had already been, there are many people locally who put me on their videos, and I'm honored I can mention their names. Mr. A. Reckless, thank you so much.
Shout out A. Reckless.
Yes, he put me on my very first video. Thank you so much. Mr. Life the G put me on 2 of them. Thank you so much. Mr. DC from Young Rollers, another one. Mr. Little S, the boss, he put me on 2. So I hope I'm not missing. Mr. Ice, thank you. There have been local rappers who had put me on their videos as background, you know what I mean? But it wasn't until Dorian Green put me on a video. And it starts from that conversation there at the airplane where he's like, I got a video that's going to blow you. It's going to get like 5 million views. But you got to be, and he gave me all the directions, tell me what to do. I said, yes, sir, I'll be ready to go. And I followed through on everything, and he's kept his promise, and he's put me on so many. I've had the opportunity to meet the Mexican OT.
I was just about to ask you about that.
Yeah,
like, how did,
so it's like, whoa.
How did that come about? Because that's crazy.
The first time I met that Mexican OT that was in New Orleans, they were doing the feature September the 8th with Currency and the other young lady, and that's when I met him the first time. Super cool, humble, incredible. It was just, to me, it was like, I'm a rock star, dude. I'm with the rock stars. Like, wow. He wasn't as known then, but it was the radiance,
you could feel the aura around him. Like he had
this
that.
is it. Like, I am here. Like, I see the cars, I see the cameras. I'm like, so I will always forever be indebted. Say, Mr. Dorian Green, if you need some help, I'm right here, brother. I'm here to help and promote and let them know. Thank you.
That's incredible. So how did you? Okay, so music. I'm guessing like music videos was just a smooth transition. Okay, I got behind the camera. I like being on camera. Did that springboard you into acting?
Yes, well, since I kind of like that, being in those music videos, I like that feeling and the attention. I was like, well, this is kind of easy, because I had seen actors, because I already knew I wanted to be a rock star, but I don't know, those actors, they make more money. Well, I did what any person does. I read the paper, and it says, looking for 300 extras, Corpus Christi Caller Times. 300 extras? Oh, I know I'll get a gig there. I drive again to the location, out of town. All these times that, oh, by the way, I've always traveled out of town. for these gigs.
Already.
So you have to leave the city.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I left the city. I went and did my first audition, and guess what?
Nailed it.
No, I don't do nothing. All I am, I'm in a crowd. There's 300 or 200 people in the crowd, and but I noticed one thing. I noticed a dude with the camera, and I noticed some people that are dressed a certain way. They don't look like us, and I guess those are the stars. So what do? I get right by the camera, and I walk military. I do an about face. Do it again. Do an about face. When you watch the movie, indie film, you see me go back and forth, with my hat on, back and forth in this movie where it's like a car show, whatever, you know. And then that led to one other thing that someone noticed me and they asked me if I'm an actor, do I want it? And then I got my first gig being the limousine driver for the legendary Mr. Pepe Serna, or Corpus Christi. I spent 14 hours with him, you know, and it started off just by applying to be an extra. And then the next thing is I am a chauffeur in a movie with a dude that's been in Scarface, Pepe Serna. So I'm like, wow, man, this is so cool, you know what I mean? So that, you know, it just, okay, so this is, and then I'm very blessed to have had Skyview Visual cast me in The Q, in Rico, and the latest one, Mr. Carmona, King of the South.
And is that the one that you were just working on?
That's the one I'm working on whenever they call me. But yeah, that one, I'm going to start doing a little bit more promos on that. I'm getting the photo shoots with the King of the South, and I've been given permission to be able to use that and to start letting folks know, hey, I'm an actor in this film known as the King of the South. It is gangster, but it's not like...
Is that series that comes on TV? It's
like
real popular?
I have no idea. I just know that...
What's it called, Kings of the South?
I don't think there's any, to my knowledge, a series right now.
Okay.
And if there is, find it.
Yeah, because I want to say, I got my homeboy, shout out Pedro. He's from up Dallas, and I think he's came out in the show.
What? I
Pedro?
think he's in Queen of the South.
Oh, okay. You right.
That's
right. Yeah.
Queen of the South.
There you go. There you go.
I've met
Yeah,
him.
you got it. Yeah, you got it. Shout out Pedro, man.
Hey,
Wherever you at,
that's right.
man. For sure. Yeah, man. He stumped me, y'all.
Yeah, so I find that music is a passion, okay, but acting is a transparency of what I've seen. Think about the parts that I want to play. How do I play them so well? Well, sir, I've seen something to that. I have to have seen it to try to
make it.
I've never been to acting school except for YouTube and my good friend who gave me a tutorial, and I watched all those tutorials by Martin Socorro, whoever, and it teaches you like everything. I'm like, all this, I just gotta apply it. You know, that's like it's just information until I apply it, and it's knowledge, and you know, from the experience. So I feel I'll become a great actor. Give me a good script, I'll become a superb. Give me a good director. I'll improvise as much as I can, but when something is structured well, you have no error. You know what I mean? You're just gonna bring out the best.
Oh yeah. So being a man of multi talents, if you could write the perfect script, or not script per se, if you could create the perfect role for yourself, what would it be?
I think I'm evolving into it, and there's every society has kings and advisors, and you know, and I was just in Italy. What do they have? They have their, you know, the mafia. In America, we have pillars. We have gentlemen. I like to epitomize myself as a pachuco, which is a gentleman of the street. It's not a bad word. It just means, you know, you understand, you know, the law. You understand, you know, how to treat people nicely, and you mind your own business. You know, you know what I mean. But you're very observant, and this is pretty much what I've seen. It's not a lowrider outfit. It's not even it's just my own little eclectic of what I find to be the model gentleman of the streets. I mean, 'cause, you know, you have to be intelligent to be a gangster. You have to be intelligent to survive a battle. You know what I mean? So I like to keep working on the character, the script, I will for now. I like the antagonist. That I love to be the antagonist. I like to play those parts that are very common for the Mexican. You know what I mean? Whether it be cartel, human trafficking, or just underground work.
Yeah,
it does. Man, you got to be dumb. I mean, you have to. This is Earth. It's there.
Yeah.
We just don't talk about it. You know.
Man, I could see you playing like I could see like being like the wise, like the advisor to like a mob boss type.
Listen,
like, hey, don't make that move right there, bro. And then you just go back in your mind.
there's your Hollywood style of acting, and we've seen all of them. I'm very blessed to work with some good ones, but sometimes I embody that character in real life scenarios. Like when I was in Italy, I went to my first party. There must have been like 30 of them guys, Italians. None of them speak English. You know, very few of them. So, you know, I'm like, well, how am I going to get around this one? So I got invited. I want to be, you know, mindful and enjoy, you know, company, make new friends. And, well, I introduced myself and estoy imparando el italiano. And then I said, pero soy mexicano. And then I raised this. I said, I don't drink, but where's the weed? You know what I mean? And then, boom, the guy, Victor.
That's a script right there.
So what I share with people, like there's always going to be a good guy and a bad guy.
Yeah.
The bad guy's not a bad guy, man. He's essential. Human dexters are needed. You know what I mean? Like regulators are there for a reason. You know what I mean? Just to keep society.
Yeah.
You may want to call them, you know, whatever. But so that character is an antagonist. And it is very much aware of the underworld.
Yeah.
You know, when he understands the kingdoms, you know, of the worlds, the commodities of exchange. So I plan on filming in Italy. And what character is the one from South Texas, this one here, you know, the Pachuco style. And that evolved from South Texas. Like, I don't think you have any Pachucos in Alabama.
We can't even say Pachuco in Alabama, to be honest with you.
A gentleman of the streets, sir.
We call Pachuco the hustlers. That's an incredible story, bro. And like personally, like, cause I know like the type of guy you are, because like the first day you met me, you're like, hey, bro, you want to be my DJ? Come on tour with me. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So. Like, no, like dead ass, bro. Like, dig this, King. I'm gonna tell you the story, bro. So like, I just get off work. I'm on my e-bike. I'm zipping through this neighborhood, and I see this house for rent. And I go, hey, my bro might like this house. So I pull up, whip out, and I'm like, man, I hope none of these white neighbors are looking at me. They gonna think I'm a hoodlum up to no good, because I got my headphones, like big headphones, hat backwards, and like I'm looking at the house.
You're looking like Ahmaud Berry.
I'm looking like
is what it sounded like.
I'm looking like a nigga.
You don't belong in this neighborhood, sir.
Boy, what you doing on the south side?
Your kind's not welcome over here.
So like, I take a picture of the thing. He goes, hey, it's about $1,600 a month.
Oh, yeah. Well, I want to know who the renter's going to be, okay? Because, I mean, so yeah, I'm going to tell you the 411. I say, hey, bro, you look cool.
Look, and so, like, I'm all nervous. I see, like, at first, I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was a black dude. Not gonna lie, like, because he, like, I think I thought he was a brother.
We'll like to touch on that. Let's go back to that sometime.
Yeah, but, like,
before.
So I'm walking up, I'm thinking he's a black dude, right? And the closer I get, I go, nah, that beard ain't nappy. Look, so like I get up there,
dude. That's a straightener.
Yeah, look. So he goes, we start chopping it up. We chopping it up or whatever. And he goes, hey, you want a water? And I go, bet. And so he goes inside. He goes, I'll be right back. Goes inside, grabs the water. He sits down. He keeps both waters on his side. Now, mind you, I'm like. Look, so he's asking me these questions like, so what do you do? Yada yada. I was like, well, I'm a personal trainer. He goes, nah. What do you do? And I go, well, I write songs, I rap a little bit. He goes, oh, you do? Here's your water. I'm like, okay, cool. So drinking the water, he goes, I do this, and I do this. I'm like, okay, cool. And then like, he goes, hey, come inside. And I go, am I getting kidnapped? Okay, bet.
Yeah.
So, like, I go inside or whatever, and then like I see the mixer, the this and the that, and I'm like, oh shit, and like I see all the music shit, and then I see all of his flags. Now he has the United States flag, the Mexico flag, the POW flag, the MIA
Mexican
flag, like all of his military flag, like and like in that room, like he has all of his guitars and shit, and I'm like, oh snap. And then like he goes, yeah, bro, I do this, and he pulls up all these badass songs, and I'm like, what? Yeah. And then fucking he got like, and then he goes, yeah, so I'm supposed to be going on tour. I got to go to Tennessee. I'm supposed to be filming.
That was a great.
He goes, I'm going to Tennessee in a couple of weeks. I'm filming in Italy on the 22nd of August. I'll be back late September. Yada yada. I'm like, what? He goes, hey, you want to be my DJ? And I go, I've never DJed, but I'll learn. He goes, bro, I'll teach you everything.
You know what? I bought a system.
Yeah, you told me. You go. I got. He
goes,
you
don't have
I got
the equipment,
system.
sir. I said, I'll buy it. I actually, for real, I have a new.
Yeah.
DJ
He goes,
system.
so go ahead and start. He goes, I'll teach you how to DJ. Go ahead and start posting on your social medias that you DJ now. Like I'm like.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Like real,
him,
like so.
That's what's up.
When
I
say,
offered him a whole PA system, but there's gonna be some. I need a little bit of money.
Yeah.
That's secondary.
Yeah.
Get the hustle. I said, get out there, get all these jobs, and then throw back a little when you got time. You know what I mean?
So like that's why I was like, King, you gotta be. You ain't gonna believe this nigga existed. Like he talked to this dude. But yeah, man.
Much. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Like so, and like I even went home and I was telling my girlfriend about it, and she's blowing me up. Like she's listening, but she's like, yeah, whatever. You ain't meet nobody that asked you to be no damn DJ.
Yeah, I did. I did.
I'm like, no, babe. Like for real. Like he asked me to be a DJ, and then like we ended up how many songs did we listen to? Like of yours, like
at least
4,
two of
like,
them for
I think
sure.
we listened to like 4 or 5 of your songs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like
that's hostage there.
Yeah, like because I distinctly remember the sun was like right here when I went inside, and then the sun went like right here, and then you moved my bike from the sidewalk to your driveway, and then we just kept chopping up. Like we talked for like a good hour and a half, or like so. Awesome. Like we talked to like close to an hour if I'm not mistaken. But like in that moment, I just learned like, wow, bro, like this dude is like genuine OG unk type shit. Like,
thank you so much. Yeah, that's a nice. I've been very blessed to meet some. Well, I like to mention one similar experience. A young man shows up at my house. You could tell a man is hungry. A man who's gonna be. You're gonna be successful, sir.
Thank you. That's right.
A few years ago, about 8 years ago, a gentleman knocked on my door. Non-Hispanic, non-black, a white guy, and he woke me up because at the time I was sleeping till 3 p.m. And of course, I'm gonna bring out the antagonist. I'm gonna, talk to him. Who this white boy trying to mess with me? Like, I'm gonna, And he shares that he raps.
Oh shit!
And he shows me a little video of him rapping over Taylor Swift's song.
Damn.
I said, bro, you sound good, bro, and you're a white dude. Like Guess what? That little wording may have helped him. I don't know. Young Gray, David, my good friend in Nashville, Tennessee, the king of Nashville, Tennessee. Fast forward 8 years, sir. I was playing alongside with him my electric guitar as he's opening up for Rick Ross.
Sheesh.
And I met him in my front door. So the same way, we don't really know why we meet. We met. You obviously are looking for a better something for your family, for whatever you were looking for your cousin. You seem like a nice fellow. You seem teachable. You had a good listening ear. Like, oh, shit, I'm bored as hell, bro. I ain't got shit to do. You know what? I'm retired. So sit down here, young fellow, and I'm going to give you some game because you're not from here. Oh, then you're going to get robbed. So hold on, pause. Let's get some facts. So I did do that, and I sometimes, every so often, there's a person that I'll take and I'll mentor, and till this day, I have young fellas that are in Georgia, Alabama, they're still on my social media, 30-something plus years, because I met them in the military, young little fellas. In the military, I wanted all the bad people, all the dudes that drink, that smoke, that do the cocaine, all the bad people. All those people come work for me. You know why? Because, man, we are going to be badass motherfuckers.
You know who else wanted all the
No.
all
This
the
is
centers, right?
And because I saw we saw the same. You know, they say you're from the same fibers. You even said I was black.
Yeah, I thought you were black dude when I was walking up.
Yeah, speak of that.
Like legit, like when I was walking up, I thought he was just an older OG black guy. Like
Yeah.
so.
He's turning.
And then I was like, legit, like I'm walking up, pushing my bike over, and I was like, man, I don't even know. Like, so I walk up, I go, hey, can I approach, sir? Like, can I ask you a question? He goes, yeah, come on. Puts out his herbals. Puts it out.
Hemp USA.
Like Hemp USA, he puts it out, and like, so like we're sitting there, like, and it like the beard was what I was like, I don't think he's a black dude, cause like the beard, and then like he starts talking, but like the more he talks, the more Unc soul kept coming out of him.
Yeah.
So this whole time I'm like
Confused as fuck.
bro. I'm like, is he a black dude? Nah, he ain't a black dude.
He sound black though.
And then he goes, yeah, my name's Martin Cervantes. And I go, yeah, I knew it.
You got motherfucking Mexican flag tatted up.
Oh,
No,
man.
but hey, I like to add, if this is for the public, man, genealogy wise, look at this nostril.
That's he said that shit too. He said, look at this nostril.
I mean,
Already.
if you got the camera, you can look.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's no doubt that you're my brother. We're all the brothers here.
Hell yeah, facts.
I just happen to be well endowed because my grandpa was black, Mexican black. So whether he was all I know is that my mother said he was Creole.
Okay.
What's that mean? Well, there's Creole, that's that French people.
Yeah.
And then there's the Mexican black. If I show you a picture of my mom, you think she's one of your aunties.
I thought you were one of my uncles.
So
I
when
believe
she
it.
told me that, I was mad. I'm like, why didn't you tell me when I was growing up? Because I had always been separated. Bro, we're in the South. This is
Yeah.
segregated. I grew up in a segregated area. The West Side was segregated from the South Side, from the Black side. This is a segregated place. It wasn't until 1976 they had to fucking bus us. Fuck up my day. You know what I mean? Because I used to just walk to the school.
Yeah.
Now I got to wake up early. So when she told me that before she expired, before she passed away, it answered so many. Why is my best friend right now, Webster? I'll call you right now, Jerry Webster. Baddest motherfucking friend of my warrior, a motherfucking warrior. 30 years he spent in the military. Bad motherfucker. That was my mentor. Why'd I get along with him? He probably saw me as his little brother. PJ, another big motherfucker. Why? Motherfucker probably saw, hey, you look like some kin folks.
Yes,
I had
sir.
no
Like-
idea. But if I would have known, I would have been every February. Shit, I got 2 holidays. I got February. Hey, I have a dream. I have a dream. Come on. And then September, yeehaw, where the margaritas? Like, do you understand? Like,
Oh yeah.
that's knowledge. Same with you. The more that you learned about our area, the more you like, hey, well, you know what? We are brothers. There is a same fight. There's something in us, all 3 of us here, that united us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's next, I guess we'll get into like a little bit of like your community outreach.
I have always volunteered to certain nonprofits and contribute. Sometimes it is public. Sometimes I have always volunteered. Even recent my PA system, where they're an organization nonprofit will do a fundraiser and raise $7,000, $5,000, then they put it on the Corpus Christi Collar time, but I behind the curtain or behind just hey dude, I volunteered to do I do that today right now. If there's somebody who wants to have a good, I have so many speakers at home, and put them to use. Yeah. So that's my contribution. I was once an elected official while on uniform, Claiborne County treasurer for the fire district of Ricardo and Rivera. So that's another form of community service,
And then before we get out of here, I just got a couple more questions that I got for you. Being at the pinnacle that you've reached, musically, acting wise, as a father, as grandfather, right? What's one word of advice that you would give to like a young man out there who may be in like the state home or like in the center right now who's lost and like, man, should I drop out? Should I do this? Like what would be your word of advice for that young man or that young woman out there like that?
Squeaky wheel gets the attention. If you're in a situation where you've already been compromised, you've already been jammed up, there are resources. You just have to apply for them. Just like anywhere else for a job, you got to apply for it. Change your life, you just got to do it. So there are many resources. For anyone, this is America. I mean, we throw away so much money. There are many programs to help folks who are less than. I've utilized every program. I like to consider myself a fellow in the School of Hard Knocks, everything from divorces to bankruptcies to bad credit at one time. Bro, come on. How can I preach to you and tell you it's going to be okay if I didn't have bad credit, divorces, I guess conduct disordered youth.
Yeah, you know
what I mean? If I hadn't been there, because I've been there in some struggles, I may be in different struggles now, but I learned something. Yeah. And what that is just a consistency, persistency, all that motivational talk. Just do it, man. A lot of talk, man. Just do it.
Just listen up, get it done. And then did you want to show everybody like the shirts and who you're partnering with?
Oh yeah, give all your shout outs.
Well, I want to say thank you so much for having me here.
For sure.
Riding High.
Yes, sir.
And I did see some previews. Mr. Havoji, my God, 3 hours. I watched that, man. Best time, best podcast so far at the moment. I'll watch the other ones and give good reviews. But I noticed there was a shirt hanging, and my good friends always give me shirts. And look at my outfit. You know what?
All black on black.
You know what I'm gonna wear tomorrow, right? Okay, so
black on black.
I'm grateful they gave me the shirt. So the only thing I can do now is to show you all my appreciation for the shirts you gave me. First and foremost, Mr. C.D. Gonzalez. Mr. Rashid, 21st Century right here. He gave me this shirt. Hey, my phone's ringing. And then, of course, every year I do a film for the Corpus Christi 7-Day Film Festival. I encourage anybody that wants to be in films. You want to be an actor, you want to be an extra. Every year, Corpus Christi 7-Day Film Festival gives you an opportunity. Man, you can't. Why not do it? There you go. You got to apply yourself.
Sure.
I tell folks I want to be a filmmaker. Every year I commit myself to doing a film for them.
I'll be in your movie.
And y'all go back
We're gonna show that we discovered that you're my lost nephew. Where you been, boy? You been in Alabama? I've been down here in Texas.
Y'all go back and watch the interview we did with Miss Heidi, who does the Corpus Christi 7-Day Film Festival, and she gives all the details explaining the festival and all that for anybody that wants to enter the festival. Like Mr. Dominine said, like, man, it's open for anybody. Like, you just got to show up to the day that they do the casting call or whatever, and they'll find something for you. So shout out to Miss Heidi, man.
Every form of art, from a writer to a camera holder, to a rapper, to a singer, to an actor, to an extra, to a wardrobe designer, to a lighting. Man, come on. This is Corpus Christi, Texas. So let's continue on.
For sure.
The one and only, Mr. Dorian Green. Shout out D Green Films. Hey, but he's so cool. He gave me 2 shirts. Come on. Yeah, he put some muscle. Don't forget, reach out to him, get a shirt from him. And man, that was really it. I always have to. It's okay, right? Come on, a club is a club.
Club's a club.
A club is a club. My friend gave me that shirt.
Hey, Club Cheetah.
Is that what it says?
I think it says that.
Don't say that.
I think it's about Animal Planet,
zoo, bro.
It's from Animal Planet.
Bro, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Don't forget, lions. Stay away from the lions. Don't feed the lions. Cheetahs. Yeah, you can approach them a little bit with a little bit of enticement. And my beautiful daughter, Corpus Christi Latina, Miss Twin Peaks. She used to make these shirts, and she gave me one. I saved them. So look at this. How cool. But yeah. Folks give me shirts, so she made this little shirt. We raised some money for her, not for her lawyer, just I guess just to prove
that was kind of dope.
That she can make some money off of her. Well, remember, she was on the news all the time, so I'm like, dude, let's sell some shirts, and people actually bought them.
Oh, really?
Just
that's
like,
what's up.
if you had a Riding High shirt, come on.
We got some. We got some.
Go.
I got you. We're gonna find you some on the way out the door. For damn sure.
Let's see. We've answered all the questions, right?
Yeah, the questions are done.
If I ever was gonna form a nonprofit, mentor, Julian Arts, philosophical, you know what I mean, to empower people. We the people was something I wanted to. We the people, we educate and empower democracy.
Yeah, that's
What's
dope.
that mean? What's that mean is you got to know your rights.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's pretty simple. So,
Did you have any questions before we close out, King?
Man, I'm gonna have to bring you back and
Yeah,
do
we
an
gotta bring
interview.
him
I'm gonna
back.
bring you back and do an interview with me doing the interview next time because there's a lot more that I want to know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna bring you back again soon, man.
Thank
for damn
you.
sure. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's a great part one.
Yeah, hell
Yeah,
yeah. for
great
damn
part
sure.
one.
all right,
Oh,
so
hell yeah.
we send all the shout outs to everybody, right? We're Corpus Christians. Let's get along. Let's do some music. Let's do some filming. Let's do some, be guests in this podcast. For all the people that have been here before me, man, thank you. I'm going to go watch them. How about you? Man, 3 hours last night. But it was well worth it. I learned a lot, and I like the way he started a trend.
Yes,
May I
sir.
continue again?
Yeah.
If you
Where's the
want
tip jar?
at the table.
Hold up. I seen Mr. Havaji. Sir, I like to frequent that. What was that zoo call? So I would like to donate also for this cause. Yeah. It was Mr. Havaji. He set the standard. I hope every other person who comes on here volunteers
Already.
again. Thank you so much. And
Hey, it's been our pleasure. Thank you for just taking the time out of your busy schedule just to give us an hour of your time, man. And next time we come in, King, when he gets his interview on with you, bro, I'm telling you right now, we are gonna uncover every single detail.
Be
of your
prepared to
life.
be here for 3 hours.
Like,
this
King's
is
gonna
just
get you
a
the-
general
yeah.
form. Wait
This
till you
is-
get some.
yeah.
This
Hey,
is
I
just-
used
yeah.
to be the plug for my.
Yeah.
And
We'll get
that's
into all
what-
and see, and if you,
that's
we'll
what we
into
wanna
all
get
that.
into.
Oh,
Yeah.
trust
You know
me.
what I mean?
I've
Yeah.
seen some
Yeah.
cool stuff.
Yeah, but
We just scratched the surface
Yeah.
today, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all look out within the next 2-3 weeks, man.
gotcha.
Hey,
Hey,
for
get
damn
this
sure.
to 1,000 likes, 10,000
Yeah.
views, and let us know so that we can get part 2 with Don Martin going. He's an incredible soul, incredible man, and it's a story that we really, really want to dive into. But we had to get the overview done today. We laying the groundwork, we building a beautiful house to tell an amazing story. And if y'all are looking to follow Don Martin, I know Don. He's a little social tech savvy, so unsavvy. So
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know
also
much
his
about
part-time
that. Please
assistant.
add me. I'll accept you.
On
or-
Facebook, it's Don Martin, DON space MARTIN. On Instagram, it is going to be. Let's see. I got you on here somewhere, Don Martin. I was just looking you up.
What's that shirt you wear?
It's on
I have to say it
Instagram.
in front of everyone. Lord, sir,
Extra
Lord,
swole.
I'm well endowed. Did I not tell you my granddaddy was black?
He said large and well
I
endowed.
said, Lord, sir.
And then on
Is there a Magnum in
Instagram,
there? Just messing.
his Instagram is gonna be Martin_Cerfuentes66. Make sure y'all go run up those follows so y'all can keep tabs for when he's got music dropping, when he's got a film dropping. Actually, he just told us. Can I tell the people what you told us earlier about?
Yeah, I have two
Okay.
music videos
Yes.
that Dorian Green did one, Static TV did the other one.
Yes.
I would gladly give you all snips because eventually they'll get released
Yeah.
on that YouTube. For now, hey,
So
tune in.
y'all stay tuned on the Ridin'
You get to
High.
see 'em.
We got
Yeah.
something for him.
Go for it.
Go ahead. We got something we're going to give him. We got some
Dude,
shirts.
look
some
at that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Stickers, air fresheners,
I can put
t-shirts.
these on my guitar.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
I appreciate it. But anything y'all two fellas want to add before we close out tonight, guys?
Man, appreciate you for joining us, man. Appreciate the donations to the podcast. Hell yeah.
But I'm high on knowledge.
Yeah.
Come on, I hope we all learned something to get along here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
And
Podcast.
make sure y'all go follow the King, DJ Lil King, on all social media platforms, right? DJ Lil King on
Yeah,
everything.
hell yeah. Shout out
Okay.
Vic. He said 40 block is in the house, man. Vic Reyes, man. A1
Shout out
Custom.
Vic.
I said it, an impoverished neighborhood. You give it the title.
Yes, sir. And y'all can go
They
find
said
me,
it.
Lucky Lamar, on all social media platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. And like that, we out, guys. Thank y'all for y'all's time. Thank you, Don Martin.
My
Peace.
brother.
Cue that
Thank
music,
you.
my DJ Lil King. With you.